What's up, everybody? Maybe we're a little late today. Maybe I slacked off some this morning and wasn't even sure if I was going to do this, but it felt right. So here we go. It's all right if we don't have a lot of live chatters. This will be a good message throughout the day, or even if you catch this in the future. That's the beauty of the I Ching is these are timeless wisdom packets of information, and that each one of the hexagrams is a configuration of consciousness that will always exist for somebody somewhere. And yeah, it's Saturday. It's okay to come in a little bit late. I'm giving it a second to breathe because I do see some people popping in. What's up, Chelsea? What's up, Davin? Good to see you. And let's breathe a little longer. Let's take some deep breaths before we let a couple more show up. Okay, one breath. I'm impatient. Let's go. Let's get in here. All right. So yesterday we were in the approach energy. Okay, let me hold that still. Approach. So it's a doorway. We're going into a doorway to somewhere else that we haven't been before. A doorway to abundance, really, to a place where we've got more influence, we've got more excitement and hope for the future. So we're arriving somewhere. And it's interesting that after we go from approach, we come to completion. Very awesome, actually. It's a good sign. And in my opinion, it shows that we're truly leaving behind old things that were not serving us and entering into a place of a new peak level of our own performance in life, our performance on this grand stage, and playing the right role for our character, becoming the superhero version of ourselves, or I guess maybe supervillain if that's how you roll, and that's fine. We got to have all types. Wouldn't be a very fun game without Team Dark also being here to give us all the lessons of who we're not on Team Light. Assuming you're a Team Light, I love you guys on Team Dark too. We're all good. So let's talk about the changing lines, of course. The first thing that I always like to get into, the changing lines here. If you can see the bottom right-hand corner of the screen where the trigrams are visible, we are going to be changing up. It's really hard to look at myself in the screen and know which direction to move my hands. We're changing on the second line from the bottom, the third line, and the fifth line, if you count from bottom to top, because that's how you count in the I Ching. So a little bit of specific divinatory meaning there. The second line is going from closed to open. And so to go through the doorway of approach into the power of completion is the opening up of the second chakra, the allowing this creative life force sacral energy to flow from within to the outside world. And that's how you paint your colors on the canvas of life. And it's about following and trusting love and knowing that if you do what feels good, follow what feels good, what authentically feels good, not like fake, self-destructive, self-evacuating feel good, you can trust that nature and life is going to reveal all the subtle signs to you that you need to see in order to help sustain yourself, even in less abundant seasons like winter. It's particularly good in this meaning to put, like when I say paint your colors on the world, find a healthy container for your creative energy and channel into that. And that could be the right art project. It could be the right career. It could be the right even romantic partner, honestly, because life force energy and creative energy is super sexy energy too. This is sacral we're talking about. So follow what feels good and where that spark is at. And the third line is going from open to closed, which is about self-containing your own treasure and your own light. And the meaning here, divinatory wise, is about dispersion. To go back to that from a couple days ago, it's about doing the inner work of metaphorically pulling the weeds in your own garden of mind when they sprout, before they get big and the roots go far, and it's a challenge to dig all that out. Now, the fifth line changing is talking about looking within. The third eye line is going from open to closed, not closed like you're closing your third eye, but what it means is it's self-contained, so that instead of looking at the outside world with the third eye. Right now, you're really focusing on looking within. This is the energy of completion. And you'll understand this whenever we talk about the elements of completion more, because it is a very look within thing. Even though it looks like there's this outer experience happening where he's crossing a finish line, it's kind of both. But the fifth line changing is saying that when you look within for guidance and you're always looking there first, you will become a natural leader, because the message that you receive from within will be in flow with the life force energy that all the other beings on the dimension share. Your intuition and your expression of that intuition, or at least you're acting on that intuition, will help other people around you, especially those that love you, to trust their own inner knowing by feeling a sense of permission to do so. They're watching you follow your intuition and do what's right for you, and it's going to give them exactly the same permission in themselves. And in a sense, you're actually keeping them from being able to express that by holding it back in yourself, because you are a powerful being, and the way that you treat yourself and the boundaries you set for yourself actually translate over to how other people in your biorhythm are going to do the same, because you're the middle, you're the center point of the entire universal mandala that is your life. And so don't underestimate your power there, and especially don't underestimate your knowing from the looking within. Now, the elements of completion are the abyssal or abysmal deep waters of, it's like a hard word to say because it sounds so bad, the abyss, but it's just the deep, deep, infinite waters of the unconscious. That's what the abyss is, the dark blue. And it's being supported by the clinging, the fire, the passionate energy, that which holds on and burns bright. So it's cool because it's like illuminating a dark place. And by putting the abyss on top with the light underneath, you're literally lighting up your inner self and it's looking within. And what is more of a completion than solving the mystery of who you are by illuminating the unconscious, by bringing light, planting the seeds of awareness in the depth of your mind and the receptive, feminine, watery part of yourself. So well done, everybody. This is an amazing place to be in terms of a divinatory thing, going from approach to completion, and be aware that what got you here was radical commitment to knowing yourself and being honest with yourself about what you see there. And like when I say radical commitment, that's what I mean by the clinging or the passionate, fiery energy. It is really an idea of the masculine in service of the feminine in a healthy way, and not in a self-sacrificing way, but in a self-illuminating, self-empowering way. And we're going to get more into that with the next card. I might have more to say about completion. There is an element of it that is about like prudence and wisdom, and that's going to be further reiterated on the 6 of discs that we're getting into here. Now, this was a jumper, and I almost like told myself, no, it's not upside down, but it jumped out upside down. So we're going to get real about that. And haven't we seen this again recently? And look, we're in Libra season and there's the scales again, but we're upside down. And so the message here, because didn't we just have 5 of discs yesterday? Am I wrong about that? Somebody tell me. Let me just look at my notes. I'm pretty sure it was 5 of discs yesterday. Yeah, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It totally was. And 5 of discs has this whole like, Tiny Tim, Christmas Carol, got like, messed up homeless people. No offense, homeless people, but like, the those who really need charity because they're not taking care of themselves, or it seems like they really need charity. And part of the message we received there was that like, wow, I actually can't self-sacrifice just to fix and save these other people that I see that are really hurt and they're really damaged. I'm not saying there's no room for kindness or charity, but you got to give from a place of fullness. And what you see here, it's like the continuation of the story. Now you've got this wealthy person coming out and giving the coins to the needy and the beggars. But what's up with that being upside down right now is pointing out the hierarchy there. Because sometimes we give from a position of like, I'm the superior one, and so I'm going to help out these poor paupers with all my coins. But we need to understand Not that there's no place for altruism in the world, but if that is the primary thing that drives us, we're not ever going to advance. We're actually going to create more unhealthy hierarchies and more codependence in our relationships. So when I talk about solar plexus going from open to closed to reach completion, this energy, I'm talking about, I'll say this a million times in my life, because when I thought of it as a metaphor, I was like, it makes perfect sense. But your solar plexus is your chest, and it's your treasure chest because it's the golden yellow solar energy. So if you have a good treasure chest that's sturdy and secure and it's locked up, not locked up as in you can never get into it, but what this becomes is a lantern and a light, so that instead of needing to give other people your energy so that they can eat it and consume it and they're just in consumer mode, you actually just store that energy in the treasure chest and it becomes a lantern. And then your very presence, think about the word presence, being present with what's real, becomes a present to everybody else in the form of you're shining your own light naturally, helps them see who they are, helps them see what they can do to rise up. And it gives them permission to hold their own light within too, because they see you as the example. And if we all had a sturdy and secure treasure chest, and we all, in that sense of solar plexus energy, were self-containing our own will and expressing our own will because it wasn't leaking out, all of these things on a bioenergetic level of wholeness or not wholeness come down to whether or not we're leaking light or having our light eaten by the external forces, or even offering it up in a self-sacrificial way. So let's not do that. And let's realize that we don't need to go around playing the character of the master saving all the poor people, and realize that your environment and the people in it will self-regulate and self-organize around your energy and your vibe. So the stronger and more self-contained and more coherent your light becomes, the more likely other people are to find that power within themselves to do that themselves. And so we must get out of the savior messiah bullshit complex that has been indoctrinated in us for a long time, and know the truth that when, like, we look at the Christ character, his whole thing wasn't about being the savior, even though this is how it's interpreted, to all the poor, sinners out there. He was trying to tell everyone, you all can do exactly what I'm doing. Yo, you can do it better than me. He's not trying to be the Highlander here. We all have got these abilities. And I really know that this is true, that the fake ass altruism is what's turning the whole world into communism. And it's a sort of inverted mother situation. And there's a lot to get into with that. That's a whole nother conversation. But what we need is to trust the unknown and not think we need to control everything by being the savior that fixes it all. And this is where Black Panther comes in. Black Panther is the unknown. We see Black Panther pretty often around here. And Black Panther is scary to people who are afraid of the unknown and need control and don't want to go out into the darkness that's the real soil for growth and for discovery. The wonderful thing about the unknown and the dark night of the soul is anything could happen out there. It's the potential becomes unlimited because you don't know what it is yet. And you haven't locked that in on sort of like a quantum perception sense of, I know what it is and this is all it could be. The really cool thing about the unknown is it's literally where all your treasure is at. All the treasure that's going to go in your treasure chest is waiting for you to find it out there in the unknown. And if we're sticking, here we go back to the discs. Discs are about how we gain our resources to live off of, our livelihood, our work situation. And the other thing is, like, are you working for somebody and just waiting for them to hand out the, like, please give me the bonus this year, master? I've been working so hard. I'm just a nice slave here in my slave job. I'll take the cowpoke if you'll just keep giving me the resources I need to survive, because I don't trust myself and I don't self-contain my own light to shine far enough into the darkness to see that, oh, there's a path there that I could walk alone. And alone is all one. And that's becoming whole, is to walk alone into the unknown and find the treasure that's waiting for you. because there are gems and jewels in the universe that only you could ever find, because you are a unique and special snowflake, damn it. Not a snowflake as in you're easily, you're going to melt, but I just mean that you are as unique as any other water bearing configuration of energy on the realm. And so when you become a coherent vibrational energy, and that you know that the only thing that really exists is your energy and your vibe, and that everything else in the external world is just going to be a reflection of what you do or do not have going on within, and what is and isn't whole or healthy within, you can now trust walking out into the unknown, because it's like Indiana Jones whenever he's got to walk across the abyss and he just keeps taking the steps. And I know that he figured out the hack to like throw the dust on there and all that. But my point is, the path appears when you take the steps. The wings don't work until you jump off the cliff, and you never really know more than a few steps ahead when you're walking in the darkness, in the unknown. But you can trust that you're guided by your own light if you are protecting that inner light and that treasure, and really understanding the lesson of solar plexus, which has been for me like the most important thing of the year. I think it's been many years of my life building up to finally clicking on this. And so for me, I'm taking those leaps into the unknown and not knowing where the next resources are going to come from, but trusting that I'm trustworthy. So whatever happens, I'm there, and there's a trustworthy person there, and you can do the same thing. And we're all ready for this. The discs are referring to a longer period of time. It's okay if there's a transition period, but just flip your mindset from like, I work for them and I don't like it, to I work for me full time, and whatever I'm doing for them is part time, till you get to the point where you don't need the them anymore, and you're just you and whatever soul clients you attract, or vibrational matches, and the treasures of the unknown and the darkness come to you through other people that are going to most resonate with who you truly are. And then you're not going to run into like the vampiric needy people to the same degree either, because when you set healthy boundaries for yourself and what you'll accept of yourself and in your life, and what you can and can't do that is good and feels right for you, follow the fun, follow the good feelings. Remember that from the second line changing here. I think it was the second line. It's the second line. Follow where the most feeling of love is at, big time. So I've been going on and on, but Black Panther is encouraging you to get into the unknown and not to fear it, because if you step out into the unknown with fear, big cat's coming to get you and clean up the energy that is in you that needs to be devoured and recycled and consumed. So don't be afraid of Black Panther, even when the harsh lessons come on the obstacle course. That's all there to help burn away the impurities in your subconscious mind and bring light to those impurities and those dissonances, just the way that the clinging fire energy here in completion. And we can stay in this vibration of attainment and victory more than just when we cross the finish line, by directing our passion and our light inward to illuminate the unconscious and reveal what we've hidden from ourselves and the true depths and expansiveness of who we are. So all of that being said, what a good read today. Still going with Archangel Michael lately. It's always lit. Archangel Michael says, make a commitment. All right. Say a prayer right now to the divine and ask to commit yourself, your entire life, to your divine purpose, no matter what, and see what happens when you make that commitment. It's safe. I mean, it's not safe in the sense that it's guarantees, but it's safe because if you're walking your path, then you will receive all the blessings that you would never have seen if you stayed in the fake security that lacks freedom. It reminds me of a line from Khalil Gibran where he's referring to letting go of things that are attachment-based love. And not that you can never feel attached to people or things, but just knowing that if you trust that the right thing will always happen and you let go of needing things to be a certain way, the difference is that the person that stays in this hierarchy of working for the man and being the man's servant, I say the man, I love the masculine. half of the duality. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? It's just that phrase referring to like government and false authority. But if you stay subservient to the man, or you stay in a dynamic of love that's not a full-on hell yes for you and is not the passion, then you will laugh and you will cry, but you will not laugh all of your laughter, and you will not cry all of your tears. You will not experience the full range of treasures of all the different flavors and emotions and feelings of life, and feeling is consciousness. So you really should just trust in that unknown. Trust that Black Panther's actually got your back and is going to be prowling all around you in the places you can't see, and taking them out whenever the other predators show up to try to, or the parasites try to knock you off your way. You've got, see, this is the thing, the last thing I want to say. When you trust in your divine purpose and you make a commitment to your divine purpose and you walk bravely into that unknown, unseen forces will come to your aid. And you can even ask for them to just be like, yo, I would like my spirit team to help me out with this. Come on, team, let's go. And then you don't have to do anything because you just gave permission to an entire crew of multidimensional badasses to come and make things happen for you. So y'all ready for these blessings? Yeah, that's right. Great things are happening. This was a fun read. Thanks for joining me a little late this morning, but the power was there, and gets me jazzed up to talk to you guys. Davin says these Oracle readings have been a cool drink of water lately. Really good stuff. Well, here's another self promo. You can do these with me one-on-one if you want specific clarity or guidance on a situation, or if you want just a general feel of like where you're at instead of this collective thing. Although we're, as a collective, kind of in the same place, because those who flow together know together, as I like to say. Also, we can do sound healing. That's the thing. Been getting really into that. If you want me to do some technician work on your aura, it really can't overestimate the potential of that. So you guys are the best. Had a lot of fun. It's 22 minutes, 22 seconds with 11 viewers. Good time to cut it off. We'll talk again soon. Taking tomorrow off of the reading because I got a lot of stuff to do. And Sunday is my day of rest from doing Oracle cards. But, hit me up on Telegram. I'll be there. Much love, everybody. Much love. Talk to you soon. Thanks for being here.